Welcome to RatRod Television, your home for thrust, lust, and rust. We're going to take you on a journey into backyards and garages where junkabilly mechanics grab and fab their own cars from whatever they can find. There are no rules in the old school. You can win the brand new Lincoln Power MIG welder in the RatRod build competition. Throttle down, boys, and get ready for some hair-bending automotive entertainment. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Miss Red, and welcome to another episode of RatRodTV. We're coming at you from Danny O'Neill's Garage Party in Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we're going to take you to Rat Rod legend Sammy V's garage in Santa Ana, California. We're going to look in on Sammy's recent project and check out his little slice of the Rat Rod world. Actually, he's kind of cute for an old guy in red sneakers. Then we'll join Rat Rod Ricky and our hand-picked build crew in the Rat Rod garage to watch the first segment of the 1926 Essex build. No drama here. Stick around to the end of the show when we announce the next entry in the Lincoln Win-A-MIG build competition and give away the Crown Deluxe sunglasses. We'll be back with more Thrust, Lust, and Rust right here on RatRodTV. Now let's join the crew in Sammy's garage.
We're at Sammy V's shop in Santa Ana, California. And the reason we're at his shop is because he doesn't have a backyard or a garage. He lives in one of those high-priced condos around here somewhere. So let's go inside and see what Sammy's up to. Sammy, thanks for having us in your garage today. We're at Sammy V's shop in Santa Ana, California, and talking to the world-famous Sammy V here. Sammy, how'd you get started in the auto industry?
Back in Texas, my father had a guy that was a German guy, loved jalopies, and I used to follow him around, I guess, in diapers, and I've been brought up in hot rods all my life, and so it's been one thing after another.
From diapers to hot rods.
Yes.
And you worked for some pretty notable racing teams, I understand.
When I was young, I worked for Mickey Thompson. I went to Indianapolis with him, and then I worked for Craig Breedlove, Spirit of America, and then I got into the building gassers, and I went back to work for Mickey, building off-road cars.
How long you been at this?
About a little over 10 years. I was working for Roger Penske, and at the time I was wanting to retire. And my bookkeeper told me you need to have an extra hobby, so I figured I'd build one of these cars. And I was looking around to get a shop where a guy would let me build a car, you know, just a small space. And then I met this really neat group of guys called the Shifters. It's a hot rod club.
Axel.
Axel is...
Sinus.
Yes, Axel was the first guy that wrote about me in a magazine to Japan. And he took the time to write about me in a magazine, and a guy showed up a few weeks later looking at the car that I had built, the one he wrote about, and bought the car. And that particular guy has bought at least maybe 20 cars from me in the last 10 years.
Really? 20 cars, the same guy?
Same guy, because of Alex. And the Shifters were, to me, were the beginning of me getting started doing this, because they were building rat rods, and I was helping them. I was picking up beer bottles and
Picking up beer bottles?
yes, because we love to. They love to drink, and so do I. And
If we had a beer sponsor, we could probably kick back a few right now.
yeah, that'd be great, huh? But yeah, and Axel. Then I moved there with the guys from the Aces down in San Clemente. Bob Hill, he's the president, and I lived with Bob. And we had a space in San Clemente where there was 4 guys building cars outside. And it was probably the greatest time in my life. And then I met Rick. Rick had worked for Jesse James, and he was a transmission guy. And I don't know what I would have done if I had never met him, because he's probably been the best thing that ever happened to me as far as my motors and transmissions. I'm having a good time.
Well, that's the important part, having a good time.
Oh my God.
This rat rod thing can get under your skin.
It has, yes, and it's a good skin. I mean, it's a good time.
It's good skin.
Yes, good skin.
You're not shedding it every 7 years. It's got to be good.
Yes, yes.
Hi, I'm Miss Red, and you're watching RatRodTV. We'll be right back. Me, dude. Can I even stutter on that one?
RatRod Television is brought to you by Lincoln Electric, the welding experts. Chicago Pneumatics, pull the trigger. Ray Bestis, the best in brakes. Seal the deal with Mr. Gaskin. By Monster Transmission, eat my shift. Comp Cams, go faster. By TrailerShopper.com, buy, sell, and trade. And by Summit Racing, the world's speed shop. Chicago Pneumatic is the official air tool of RatRodTV. Do you want to know why? They're built to work and they're built to last. You can pay more for other tools, but you're not going to get more. Chicago Pneumatic is the RatRodder's tool of choice. So fill your hand and feel the power. Check out the full line of Chicago Pneumatic products at cp.com/RR. cp.com/RR and pull the trigger on one of these babies.
I miss out on all the fun, but because of budget restrictions, I'm stuck here in Danny's garage doing a wrench party. But I can do this, so second gear, boys.
So what drew you into the rat rod web?
Well, I kind of wanted to build cars that were built right around the late 50s, well, I would say late 40s and early 50s, when the guys were getting out of the Army, didn't have any money, and so they'd go to the junkyard and they'd get a motor here and they'd get a body over there and they'd put a thing together. And if you look at the books from hot rod books from the 50s, this is what it is. I can get you books and I'll go through at night while everybody's asleep, and I'm looking, I figured, okay, I'm going to make one just like this.
So this is a recreation of that same vehicle, right?
Somebody that just got out of the Army or the Air Force had to have a little car to drive around in, and this is one of them.
And how many rat rods have you built, do you think?
I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I probably build like 4 to 5 cars a year, so you do the math, and that's it. But yeah.
I don't want to do any math right now. That's too tough. What, is there a test later? What is your definition of a rat rod? In other words, how do you define what a rat rod is?
Well, a rat rod is not something out of fiberglass. It's something that's got to be old metal. It can be an old front end, but mostly an old body. You can have a late model motor, late model transmission, but you have to have a body to start out with. And most of the cars that I built, I found these bodies in Oklahoma, Texas, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Portland, Oregon. But yeah,
You just pick them up wherever you can find them, actually.
yes. But the idea is to have an old body, nothing pre-production or anything, and everything else you can change around, But gotta make it where it's a little different than anybody else's.
I found out that you spend more time looking for parts than you do actually building the car.
That's the fun part of it. That is the very fun.
Fun? Looking for the parts is fun?
Of course, being in junkyards and getting dirty and being underneath cars and getting scrounging parts and being at the swap meets. Yeah, there's a swap meet almost every weekend, and we're there. I mean, Rick and I, we're there at 5. I even sleep there at the parking lot, so I won't miss a thing. But
Sleep at the parking lot before the swap meet.
yes,
It's like waiting for M&M tickets.
that's right.
Notice you have a Lincoln welder over there.
The best thing in the world. I'd be lost without it.
It looks like it's been around a while.
I've had it for about 12 years.
Is that right?
It has never given me any trouble.
It's kind of like a hunting dog.
I guess.
Well, tell us about this car you're working on here, Sammy.
Well, it's a Model A frame. It's got a 32 Ford axle.
A Model A frame.
Model A frame, 1930 Model A frame. The body's a 27 Touring that I cut the back off and made it into a roadster. I shortened the frame a little bit, like 5 inches, so the wheelbase is going to be like 95-inch wheelbase. Hydraulic brakes on the front. I'm going to have a Corvair steering box. It's a 350 motor with a 350 transmission.
Corvair steering box.
Yes,
Is there a reason for that?
that's what I found at the swap meet.
Okay.
You found it, so it's going in, right?
It's going in there.
Doesn't matter what it is.
It was there and it kept saying, take me home. And I'm going to use 48 Ford shocks all the way around it. And it will have spoke wheels on the front and steelers on the rear. Motorcycle tires on the front. Going to have a Mustang radiator and gauges and, you know, just a Mustang shifter. So it's going to be looking pretty good. You'll see it by the first of the month.
And how much did the body cost?
$500.
$500.
Yes.
And the frame?
Well, there's a story on the frame. I bought it for $150, but I sold the rear cross member for $120. So I have $30.
That's a pretty good deal there.
Well, that's part of the being a red rod thing.
That's the Rat Rod way, right?
Yes, exactly.
And what do you got up here for a power plant?
It's a late model Chevrolet motor, 350. It came out of a wrecked Suburban. So the guy told me if I could come and get it out of his driveway, I could have it. So there it is. You know,
No money.
none whatsoever.
Not going to be a fancy interior. What about the steering wheel? I noticed earlier we were holding up. What is that from? An old Ford?
That's an old bus steering wheel.
It's old bus steering wheel.
Yeah, but that's way too big. That's just.
No, I like that. I think that's perfect. That's a statement.
I don't know if I.
You think it overpowers the car?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
You have any tips for anybody that's aspiring to build a Rat Rod?
Stay on it. Don't give up. Work on it as long as you can and as fast as you can, and you know, just you gotta stay on it because otherwise you'll never get it done.
Well, Sammy, it's been great down here in Santa Ana. I want to thank you for having us in your garage. We're looking
you for
forward to
coming
seeing
over.
this car at the Primer Nationals.
Definitely, you'll be able to drive it around.
Let's go drive some of these cars.
Okay, let's do.
Did you notice the Lincoln welder in Sammy's garage? Did you see his cute sneakers? The Essex build is coming up next.
Hey everyone, Joe Gibbs here. When it comes to the number 18, 20, and 11 Toyotas at Joe Gibbs Racing, we're constantly testing parts, developing new technologies, looking for every advantage. For brakes, only one line has been a proven winner time and again, Raybestos. For quiet, safe, worry-free performance, with full-line domestic and foreign nameplate coverage, trust Raybestos, the official brakes of NASCAR.
Lock in high performance for life with MLS head gaskets from Mr. Gasket. Engineered for high compression, turbo, supercharged, and nitrous engines. MLS is the multi-layered leak-proof answer guaranteed to seal in performance. Lock it in for life with MLS from Mr. Gasket.
New from Axel, the DMHEI corrected distributor cap. Eliminate crossed ignition wires and dress up your engine for a clean look. A plug-and-play fit with ultra-high dielectric strength to resist arc through. The DMHEI corrected distributor cap. New from Axel.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for, the first episode of the Essex build. As I said, it's not pretty, but this ought to knock the rust off of your shifters.
When we brought this car back from California, we had to stop at the agricultural stop on the border. And the state official said, "Where did you guys get that car?" I said, "In Tacoma." He went, "Oh, this car can't go anywhere." And he gets his big green gloves on and spectacles and a hat and a safety thing and a long flashlight. He says, "I have to inspect the car." I said, "Inspect the car? What do you need to inspect the car for?" He said, "I'll be right back." So I watched him in the trailer monitor, and he's digging all through the car, and he's got his flashlight and his big green gloves and all that crap. He came back and he says, "Okay, you're good to go." And I said, "Well, what the hell are you looking for?" He's real serious. He said, "Gypsy moths." What? Gypsy moths. I said, "I suppose you people in California are unaware of the fact that moths can fly?" And there are probably thousands of them flying over the border right now. What are you doing here? True story. Team was anxious to tear into the car. Testosterone was pumping, which is not unusual when men take up power tools and torches. Our goal was simple: remove the body without damaging the rusted surface and do it as cheaply as possible. That's the Rat Rod way, right? This is a true RatRod deal. Notice the jack stands? They're like $4.99 Kmart.
The teardown was running smoothly until team leader discovered that I forgot to pick up the grinding wheels.
Grinding stuff and everything. I spent $308 of my money to get what I got yesterday for gas and everything.
Lincoln didn't send them.
They don't have grinding stones.
Where do I get them?
You have to buy them at Air Gas.
West Air Gas.
Where I was yesterday.
These?
No, not the grind, just all the different, these.
Yeah, those.
I have 2 cases of each.
Don't they have those at Harbor Freight?
No. We gotta go buy some shit one day. I can't go.
Well, I don't know what to get, so
I know what to get.
tell me exactly what to get and I'll get it.
You can't go get it. I can't make a list for you. You have to go get it.
Okay.
Because you don't know what to get.
Where are we going to get it?
We're to count today. They're closed.
The build team without grinding wheels is like Lady Gaga without her makeup. It gets ugly. There were repeated disagreements and heated discussions about how to remove the body from the frame. Mr. Cooper thought he knew best and began peeing on team leader's fire hydrant. 2 alpha dogs in the same garage is not a good idea. The team successfully removed the body without grinding wheels and resorted to primitive tools like boards and hammers. Patrick had a brief emotional setback. Shortly after that, we discovered team leader had missed a few anger management classes.
Need a punch? Yeah. The longer one, the better? Yeah. Except for fix the problem thing, dude. Except for fix it.
Hey, you want to?
Tell me more.
What?
So do I.
You know what?
It's called talking communication.
Cooper? Rick hasn't given me a penny. Listen.
We both said we needed that beforehand. Nobody's talked.
Then
whatever.
me and you.
I'm just going with the flow. Let's work together.
I ain't giving nobody conflict.
I know you've worked real hard. You're probably real tired.
I'm very tired.
You told me you needed me to come in here and do
I
this, and
need
we're doing
Cooper
it.
to straighten me out in
So
my
here we
shop.
go.
Okay. You
All right,
know,
bro.
listen.
All right, bro.
All I gotta say is, listen. I got the right crew because there's nothing but a world one out there and it's done. That's all I can say. Anyways, we're gonna keep moving forward on this project. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna squeeze the producer. We need some beep money, and the RatRod way is to get everything as cheap as you can and this and that. But that's all. We need some friggin' money so we can get tires and put them on this car. Next thing we're gonna do after that, we're going to Pomona swap meet. If we get lucky, we'll find us a set of pie crust slicks.
Here we are at Pomona, mission accomplished. Team leader found our tires for the Essex build. What did we get?
Got some polyglass front tires, our old originals, not repops. Pie crust there. We got the old original racing slicks for the back. Cheaters, pie crust. We really got lucky. They're on the rims we need, backspace we need, and we got the covers. So got these for $200, got these for $130 each. So we're gonna make that a wrap. Out of here.
$460. We're gone.
It took a half a dozen guys to tear down the car. I could have done that in a parking lot on some speed bumps.
I needed a new trailer for my motorcycle and was about to go out looking for one when I realized I gotta sell my old one. Good thing I found TrailerShopper.com. I can do both at the same time right from home. At TrailerShopper.com, I can shop for a livestock trailer if I needed one, a race car, snowmobile, cargo, or even a horse trailer. Trust me, if you're looking to buy or sell any kind of trailer, new or used, you can do it at TrailerShopper.com. And sellers, your first classified ad is free, even free one ads. TrailerShopper.com.
Team leader is back in anger management. As you can see, he smoothed things over with Cooper, but he's still whining about the budget. Patrick did a little group therapy with 6 blue moons. Next week, the team is going to tackle the body problems and dig into Adrian's frame design. We have some bad news to report. Hot rod legend Bo Hupp is battling cancer. Do us and him a favor and go to RatRodTV.com and click on the Huffarama banner. Help any way you can. Bo, we're pulling for you. Now here's Rat Rod Ricky and the Rat Rod Garage to give away the cool stuff. Take it away, Sparky.
Welcome to the RatRod Garage, home of the 1926 Essex build. Be sure and enter your Rat Rod to win the Lincoln Power MIG Welder. Send us your entry, photos, build story, any particulars we need to know about it. Enter it, and if we like your entry, we'll read it on the air. Like this entry this week comes from Joshua Alvey and Brad Blair from Seymour, Indiana. They work out of a one-car garage and built this 31 coupe. Josh says he found the body on eBay. They picked it up in Richmond, Virginia for $1,200. They built the frame out of 2x6 box and narrowed the front to 2x3. He said we relief cut each frame rail 26 times per side to make it wrap perfectly with the contour of the trunk deck. They said they have about $400 in the frame. The two-link suspension is handmade. It has rear coil-over adjustable racing springs. The front axle is a super bell dropped and drilled with a Speedway disc brake setup. They shortened the rear end out of a 97 Camaro, installed Moser axles and changed out the gears. Cost about $400. The engine is a DEI-built roller rocker, balanced and blueprinted. It sports a Holley 750 punched to 1100, mounted on a high-rise intake. He said they traded an old four-wheeler for the motor. They mounted a 32 grill shell with an electric fan. They drove to Tennessee to meet up with Ricky Bobby. Now, that's what he says in the letter. He drove to Tennessee to meet up with Ricky Bobby to grab some old coupe doors and mounted them suicide style. Here is where Josh and Brad outdid themselves. They modified a 1959 Impala dash. They shortened it 18 inches and rolled it into the interior doors. Cost $400. Well, great job on the 31 coupe, guys. Your entry will certainly raise the bar for entering your car. We're going to send you the Lincoln Cruising Sticks welding helmet absolutely free. We got an unusual message at the RatRodTV YouTube channel from JBS 127845. That's his YouTube code name. His letter says, "How's it going? I really like your show. I just turned 18 and have been designing and building rat rods and hot rods for 3 years for my 1/5 scale RC car." He says, "I've got quite a following here on YouTube with over 500 subscribers and over 2 million views. The RC car I used was originally a dune buggy, and he decided to change it up a bit. The RC car he uses is 3 feet long, weighs 24 pounds, has a 26cc two-stroke gas engine. He says it'll go about 50 miles an hour. Anyway, I thought I'd share my latest rat rod called the Reaper with you. This is my own car design, and I would love to have this car cruising a parking lot of a real rat rod car show or have it on RatRodTV. Well, there's your first wish come true. It's right here on RatRodTV. So, JBS 127845, you have built one mean little rat and can't wait for you to move up to a larger scale. So, we're going to send you a pair of Crown Deluxe sunglasses just like this. You need to check out this hot little machine on YouTube. There's the title right there. Now remember, you can't win the Lincoln PMC 140 Power MIG if you don't enter it. So go to RatRodTV.com and enter right now. While you're there, get yourself one of our official crew shirts or the official RatRod TV garage shirt. Well, we're out of time. Rust rules. We'll see you down the road.
RatRod Television is brought to you by Lincoln Electric, the welding experts, Chicago Pneumatics, Pull the Trigger, Ray Bestis, the best in brakes, Seal the Deal with Mr. Gasket, by Monster Transmission, Eat My Shift, Comp Cams, Go Faster, by TrailerShopper.com, buy, sell, and trade, and by Summit Racing, the world's speed shop.
It's coming out your mouth. It has nothing to do with the project. It's for TV. You're going to find that thing up your ass one day.
Yeah, this is for TV also.
For TV, we're going to wait for the opportune moment and hit the friggin' switch and watch him burn.
Make sure he's grounded.
It won't work because he won't ground. It's been a problem he's had his entire life. He's never been grounded.
Ow.
What is that?
Lock in high performance for life with MLS head gaskets from Mr. Gasket. Engineered for high compression, turbo, supercharged, and nitrous engines. MLS is the multi-layered leak-proof answer guaranteed to seal in performance. Lock it in for life with MLS from Mr. Gasket.
New from Axle, the DMHEI corrected distributor cap. Eliminate crossed ignition wires and dress up your engine for a clean look. A plug-and-play fit with ultra-high dielectric strength to resist arc through. The DMHEI corrected distributor cap. New from Axle.
You've got the ride. Now get the edge at SummitRacing.com. Find parts fast with customizable search options. Shop by keyword, brand name, make, model, and more. Plus, find great deals in the Saving Central section. Get parts quick and easy with online checkout and fast shipping. And get the job done right with helpful instruction sheets, part suggestions, and a huge tech archive. It's all at SummitRacing.com, your ultimate power tool.